Guys, how are we doing? And welcome back to another video. This is the Fighters Forecast. It is your boy Tennant speaking, and we are here to break down Fluffy Hernandez versus Gregory Robocop Rodrigues. But guys, let's get that bullshit out of the way. Last card was not it. It just wasn't, man. There was a lot of fights that were weird. Moktabek Oroblai losing fucked a lot of people's parlays, and then Joel Alvarez losing fucked a lot of people's parlays, and then Mansour Abdul Malik losing fucked a lot of people's parlays, including our hammer. I will rip into that guy when the Hammer of the Week video comes out because that performance was absolutely embarrassing. Just a lot of weird fights, though, guys. Fights, I mean, maybe they weren't weird. Maybe I just got my reads wrong that time, unfortunate. But we're gonna bounce back here. We're gonna get cooking again. I like this card, to be honest. This card is pretty smooth. It's pretty calm. I like some of the matchups here. There was some short notice guys put in because some opponents pulled out. But I like this card. I think we're gonna do well on this card. We're gonna bounce back from that monstrosity that was last week. We're gonna get cooking again, and I have a nice hammer of the week for you guys for sure. So stay tuned for that one. But this is Fluffy Hernandez versus Gregory Robocop Rodrigues. And like always, guys, we start from the bottom to the top. But before we do that, we have to talk about that absolutely awesome Contender Series day yesterday on Tuesday. That was the greatest Contender Series episode I've ever seen in my lifetime. Literally every fight was an absolute war or just a finish, just a sliming of the other person. The first fight was fight of the year contention. Both those guys were throwing with whatever they had. Then we had Lorik just go in there and absolutely knock out Muhammad Ali, the zero head movement guy. And then we had Christian Perez look amazing in that spot there. Just amazing fights every single time. We had Trent Miller come out with a Vaughn Fu choke. He wasn't the better fighter, don't get me wrong, but he found it and he got it. And then last time, the main event, the most disgusting overhand I've ever seen in my lifetime. The guy threw from his fucking toe all the way up and put every single ounce of power. If you have not seen the knockout, search up Kike Brito knockout versus Namo Fazil. But after that, guys, we are done now. We're done yapping about last week. We're going to move on. We're going to reset. And we're going to get cooking. We're going to get back on our streak for the Hammer of the Week. And we're going to get back on our streak of predicting the cards very well. Like always, we break these fights down from the bottom to the top. First fight of the night. It is Jackson McVeigh against Wes Schultz. And I'm not going to lie, guys. This is one of the lowest level of UFC, of fighting that the UFC has to offer here. Jackson McVeigh versus Wes Schultz. Both these guys suck. I'm not going to lie to you at all. They both suck. Wes Schultz is more of a wrestler, grappler guy. He's got zero striking, zero clinch, zero knees, anything striking whatsoever. Wes Schultz does not have it. But his wrestling is good. He is a D3 All-American. I think he went undefeated in high school wrestling here. But this is not high school, buddy. This is the UFC. You know what I mean? This guy's got zero striking whatsoever. And then against a guy like Jackson McVeigh, who's going to be the bigger striker, the bigger fighter as well, a guy who is good and mean in the clinch. I like him here. But the problem with this fight is that Wes Schultz has good takedowns, and Jackson McVeigh is not that great at defending takedowns. But everywhere else, Jackson McVeigh is a lot better than Wes Schultz here. My thing, I would not put this fight in any lay whatsoever at all because both these guys suck. But Jackson McVeigh is more dangerous. He has the knees. He's the bigger fighter. He has the clinch shots. He has the straight shots here. He just needs to defend some takedowns, and Wes Schultz will look fucked. He'll look as fucked as he was against Damian Pinas in this matchup. Next fight, we have an absolute banger here. We have Gage Young fighting Stan Dorsonville. Gage Young, was supposed to fight a different opponent here. And it dropped out. So Stan Dorsonville comes in here. This is an undefeated prospect. Stan Dorsonville is a very aggressive guy, a guy who comes out very, very quick, and he tries to take your head off. Stan Dorsonville, will come out with nice 1-2 combos, but if he smells any little bit of blood, if he sees your wobbled a little bit, he will absolutely unload the tank. He will unload the clip on you, and that's how Stan Dorsonville fights. He will try and hurt you, and if he does, he is coming, and he's coming hard, and there's no pause in there. Anyways, he's fighting Gage Young. Gage Young is a guy who can take a beating if he needs to. Gage Young is good at grappling. He's good at wrestling, and he has a dog mentality in the striking. He will take a hit to give a hit, Gage Young. And he's fought the way better level of competition here in the UFC. He has a win against Thiago Moises, which is not impressive right now, but it's definitely a savvy vet, definitely a guy you need to have decent skills to beat here. And Gage Young, in my opinion, just can walk down Stan Dorsenville. You have to watch out for Stan Dorsenville in the first round here, but Gage Young, I think he can take the early shots of Stan Dorsenville. He can wear him down with the grappling and wrestling, and he can get on top, land some nice shots, wear this guy out, get the cardio down, and just be the better fighter, be the more UFC ready fighter here. I'm taking Gage Young as the pick'em underdog in this matchup. Next fight, we have the murdering of Ryan Coos against Marcio Barbosa. Marcio Barbosa was one of my prospects on my list, a guy who is extremely dangerous in the 145 division coming off the Dana White Contender Series, a guy who's an absolute madman in the first round. He has 17 victories, all by finish in the first round. Marcio Barbosa. This guy comes out and he does not care who's in front of him. He comes out, he throws, he's very clean, he's very tight in the pocket as well. And once he sees an opening, he will lunge forward and throw with absolute ill intent to get you out of there. Ryan Coos is also kind of a striker here, but he lacks the striking defense that is needed in this matchup here. He's got decent wrestling, decent trips, but it won't be enough to get Marcio Barbosa in a world of trouble here. Marcio Barbosa is going to take this guy's soul. He's going to knock this guy out in the very first round, and I think that's a great play. Marcio Barbosa in the first round by knockout here in this matchup. Next fight, we have one of the most interesting matchups on this card. I've seen a lot of people go a lot of ways here, and I'm absolutely shocked. I'm absolutely surprised on what the odds are here. It is Nasrat Haqparast against Chris Taco Padilla. Nasrat Haqparast is a nice pitter-patter striker, a guy who has good distance management here, a guy who's very calm under pressure, a guy that loves to throw a 1-2, kick you with the legs, very calm technical striker here. And he's fighting the madman in Chris Padilla here, a guy who is not those things, a guy that will get in your face. He's nasty in the clinch. He's got good trips. He's got good submissions here in Chris Padilla. This is a clash of styles if I've ever seen one. Nasrat Haqparast loves to chill and move and flow, and Chris Padilla is all action. He will come forward. He will get you against the fence, and he has nasty elbows and knees on the fence here. When I was doing the when I was doing the breakdown, I try and do it without seeing the odds first. And you know what I mean? I did the breakdown here. I said Nasrat is a clean guy. He loves to be clean, loves to be calm and technical, but he just got absolutely flatlined in his last matchup. He got brutally head kicked in his last matchup. He was asleep for about 3 minutes. And if you get knocked out like that, I don't know how you come back the same. I really don't know how you come back the same after that. When I tell you guys this guy was asleep on the floor, he was asleep for 3 minutes. I don't see a world where this guy can come back and look the same. And the odds are he's the favorite. Guys, I don't know if I'm missing something here. I'm not sure if I'm looking at this completely wrong, if I have it all wrong here. Chris Taco Padilla is going to come forward. He's going to look the better fighter in the judges' scorecards because he's just going to be coming forward, throwing with immense volume, throwing with his elbows against the clinch, knees against the clinch, wearing down Nasrat Haqparast, who does have good takedown defense, might I add. But Chris Padilla is going to make his living in the clinch in this fight. I don't understand how this guy is the underdog. This really could be a lock underdog, the second ever lock underdog I've ever put out here in Chris Taco Padilla. I don't get the odds at all, especially a guy coming off a nasty knockout loss. Like, if you don't look up Nasrat Haqparast head kick loss, it is one of the nastiest knockouts you'll ever see in the UFC. And Chris Taco Padilla is going to march forward. He's going to get in his face in the clinch, throw the bows, throw the knees. I don't get how he's the dog, and he could be my second ever lock dog in the UFC. Give me Chris Taco Padilla in this matchup. Next fight, we have the Blob, Shamil Gaziev against Kennedy Nzechukwu. Kennedy Nzechukwu is a guy, guys, I've gone back and forth on this fight, to be honest. I've been seeing lots of things that people like Kennedy Nzechukwu in this matchup here, but I don't know if I do. You know what I mean? He hasn't beat anybody good. He really, really hasn't. Kennedy Nzechukwu has beat Chris Barnett and Lucas Bresky at heavyweight. Both those guys are fucking trash. Both those guys are fucking trash. And I don't know why everybody is on this guy as the public dog. I really don't get it. They may go, oh, Shamil Gazib is coming off 2 knockout losses in a row. Did you guys see who he fought? He fought Brando Pericic, a streaking heavyweight coming up the ranks, a guy who I've been on for a good amount of time. And he also lost to none other than Waldo Cortez Acosta, a guy who is a top 5 heavyweight. Kennedy Nzechukwu, every time he fights someone decent, loses here. And if you don't think Shamil Gaziev is decent, you are incorrect. Shamil Gaziev is the better fighter here. Kennedy Nzechukwu, maybe he hits harder, but Kennedy Nzechukwu is way too calm. He's way too relaxed. He's way too okay to stay at a range, to stay at a pace here. And to beat Shamil Gaziev, you need to push the pace. And Kennedy Nzechukwu does not do that. Shamil Gaziev is going to be there. He's going to be staying in his face. That big blob head of his, the most handsome man in the UFC. He's going to be there. He's going to stay in his face. He's going to pop that jab out. And I don't understand why nobody is talking about the wrestling of Shamil Gaziev. Shamil Gaziev can take this guy down if he wants. You know what I mean? Shamil Gaziev's got decent wrestling. He's got decent shots here. I think striking is very even as well. I like Shamil Gaziev in the spot at minus 140. I don't know why everyone's on Kennedy Nzechukwu. He's beaten nobody good at heavyweight. Barely at light heavyweight. And he's lost to everyone decent at light heavyweight. You know what I mean? So I don't know why Kennedy Nzechukwu is the consensus dog here, but I'm not taking him. Give me Shamil Gaziev in this matchup. And next fight, guys, this is some lore. This is Anthony Wint against Terrence Chapman here. Anthony Wint was added to my Dana White Contender Series prospect list just last week. Literally the first week of the Dana White Contender Series, this guy fought. I saw him fight. I added him to the list because he looked like a world beater here. And at the interviewers, he told Dana White, "What's up, boy? I'm not going home. Book me a fight for this week or next week. I'm not going home. I'm going to show up to your house, Dana." That's what he said to Dana White after getting the knockout. And they book him. They book him against Terrence Chapman here. And Anthony Wint is going to put quick work on Terrence Chapman in this matchup. Anthony Wint is going to knock this guy out in the first round, possibly the first minute. Guys, when I tell you this guy is special for the heavyweight division, Anthony Wint at 265, this guy is special. He's built like a freak. This is the biggest guy. Used to play linebacker on the Jets in the NFL. This is one of the biggest heavyweights I've ever laid my eyes on for a guy who is only 240. You know what I mean? He hits like an absolute truck. He's got great leg kicks to try and slow his opponents down. And Terrence Chapman is a fat man. You know what I mean? This guy's going to get put out in the first round. It's pretty clean. It's pretty cut. It's pretty dry. Give me Anthony Wint in this matchup. Next fight, guys, we have Markel Maderos against Mason Jones. And when you watch these breakdowns, you kind of hear me say, junkyard dog. I'm going to stop saying that unless it really, really pertains to the fighter. And right here it does. Mason Jones is the most junkyard dog on the roster. Mason Jones, this guy does not put up a boring fight. If you go watch Mason Jones tape, if you go watch fights, this guy will come back from the depths of hell, from bedrock, and he will win the fight. Mason Jones, you have to kill this guy if you want to win the matchup here. And Markel Maderos is too calm. He's too clean to get in a firefight with Mason Jones. Mason Jones is going to come forward. He's going to unload the clip on Markel Maderos in this matchup here. And he's going to get on him. He's going to wrestle him if he wants. He's going to strike him against the fence. He's going to put on a pace that Markel Maderos has never seen before. You know what I mean? It's going to be very similar to that Taco Padilla fight that ended in a draw when Taco Padilla obviously won that fight. But Mason Jones has the striking, has the elbows, has the knees, has the grit, has the toughness here in this matchup that he needs. He just cannot play a striking technical matchup, which he never does. I trust Mason Jones in this spot, and I'm going to take him by KO in this matchup. Next fight, we have Reinier de Ridder against Roman Dolidze, the ghost of Roman Dolidze. Reinier de Ridder has moved up to 205. He was a 185-pounder, but the guy was too, sunken out. He was too drained from his weight cut. He didn't have the power. He didn't have the will in 185. He's too big for the division. He moves to 205 here, and he's fighting Roman Dolidze in this matchup. Roman Dolidze, this is the ghost of Roman Dolidze. He's lost 2 in a row so far against decent level comp, don't get me wrong. But he looked terrible in both those fights. The guy's cardio was awful. His striking is even worse. His head movement is awful. He's got decent submissions and jiu-jitsu game, and that is about it. Roman Dolidze can't strike. He is not defensively sound enough in this matchup here. And Reinier de Ridder is a jiu-jitsu champion in his own respective sport here. Reinier de Ridder is not getting subbed here, and if Reinier de Ridder is not getting subbed, this is a clear Reinier de Ridder win. I don't know why the odds are minus 350. This should be a minus 600 fight. And if you're going to take Roman Dolidze, it's not by decision, it's not by KO, it's by submission. But Reinier de Ridder is going to march this guy down. He's got beautiful knees up the middle to try and slow down Roman Dolidze even more, and he will. He's got an awkward striking style, but he's so long for the division at 6'5". I think he gets Roman Dolidze out of there by KO or submission. I'm going to lean KO in this matchup. Next fight, we have Sergey Spivak against Vitor Petrino. And guys, I've had a rocky road with Vitor Petrino. I'm not going to lie to you, man. This guy was one of my prospects from 2 years ago off the Dana White Contender Series. This guy was supposed to be fighting at 205. And then he ruined his undefeated record by shooting a lazy takedown into Anthony Lionheart Smith and got guillotined. One of the saddest ways to dethrone a hype train, Vitor Petrino. But this was one of my guys, man. This is one of the guys coming out. He got a couple wins in the UFC, and then he did that. But Vitor Petrino has huge power coming off that 3 knockdown victory against Steven Asplund in their last matchup. This guy has massive power in his hands, but Vitor Petrino lacks the desire to really compete. Vitor Petrino, you watch him in some of those losses that he has. He's smiling, he's laughing. Haha, I just lost. Haha, fuck your parlays. So you're not getting a fucking single cent, Vitor Petrino. I'm not throwing you in any fucking parlay whatsoever because you don't give a fuck. You're there. If you win, it's because you're the better fighter. You have no grit. You have no heart. And I thought you were a different person, but you're not. You're a pussy. You're a guy who's just there for a check. You're not there to fight. You're not there to be grimy and gritty and try and get the win here. But he's fighting Sergey Spivak, a guy who has good wrestling, but he will not be better on the feet here. If Sergey Spivak wants to turn into a Nurmagomedov and shoot takedowns and lay on Vitor Petrino, he can. But in his last couple fights, he hasn't done that. He's just throwing the jab out there. He just beat Antidelia by striking here. And that could give him a false sense of security in this matchup here. Because if he tries to stand with Vitor Petrino, he's going to get knocked out. And Vitor Petrino is going to stand there. He's going to throw his huge shots. He knocked down Steven Asplund 3 times in that matchup. Vitor Petrino is a better striker at all costs here. Not even close. Spivak needs to turn into a Nurmagomedov in this matchup to win. And I don't know if he does. So I'm going to lean Vitor Petrino in this matchup, but he better not be in anybody's parlay because this guy does not take it serious and he does not care if he loses. Next fight, this is the main event. It is Anthony Fluffy Hernandez against RoboCop Gregory Rodrigues. This is an absolute banger, guys. And what this fight reminds me of is when Michel Pereira had a huge run in the UFC where he was winning every fight by stoppage, by KO. But he fought Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. He's going to be dangerous early, Gregory Rodrigues. Gregory Rodrigues has huge pop in his shots. Just look at him. He's a fucking specimen. A guy who's going to stand there. He has a nice body kick as well, which Anthony Hernandez is susceptible to. Anthony Hernandez's body is there to get hit, and he's soft. He's very soft. The body shots hit him hard. He feels them. But once Anthony Hernandez can get the grasps on you, can get you down to the ground, can get on your back, can wear you down, he is extremely dangerous. He's a cardio merchant. He's got good wrestling once he shoots, and he will shoot here on Gregory Rodrigues. But you have to watch out for the guillotines, for the chokes of Gregory Rodrigues, because he is a BJJ black belt here. But I think RoboCop is extremely dangerous early in this first and second round. He's got great teep kicks that can help, that can hurt Anthony Hernandez. He's got huge back leg body kicks as well that can hurt Anthony Hernandez. If Hernandez is defensively sound here, if he's very calm, if he can get the wrestling going and pressure Rodrigues against the fence, he's going to look good in this spot here, man. And I think he does that. I think he learns from his loss against Sean Strickland in this matchup here, and he beats Gregory Rodrigues by late finish here in the main event in Fight Night here. That is the full card prediction, guys. If you don't agree, throw it in the chat. Who I got wrong, what I said that was wrong. If you think someone else wins that I don't, put it in the chat, man. I'm always here to discuss it, man. I'll always tell you why I think this is going to happen here. This is UFC Fight Night. Anthony Hernandez versus Gregory Rodrigues, guys. And be prepared and stay tuned for the hammer of the week. And I'll see you guys in the next one.